Yeah, so you mentioned both Shiva and Vishnu are same, right? So if it is so simple, right, to say that both are same, and why for centuries we have so much of divide, and what is the reason, and why we have so many gods, right? Especially in our culture, actually. What is the reason?
Very good question. We'll take this as a two question. One is why so many gods and why there is a problem. It's divided between Shiva and Vishnu. Now there is a, if you take now gurus also, this follower, let's take cinema star. These two cinema stars, number one, or let's say two stars opposite each other, every state has. They may be good friends, but the followers following differently. The problem with the God is also people are creating a fan club, not spiritual club. If you create a fan club without understanding the meaning, you will say, I belong to Shiva, Shiva is high. Somebody says, I belong to Vishnu, Vishnu is high. If you really understand the word God, then what it matters, it is Shiva or Vishnu. So the first thing somebody get into even spirituality is to have that ego, telling that mine is better. What I belong is better. So rather than fan club, we need to become a devotee. Then it doesn't matter Shiva or Vishnu. Even if you get into text, whatever Vishnu avatar he has taken, every avatar he worshipped Shiva. If you take Shiva's story, many places he took help of Vishnu, and they both say we both are one. You read many texts, which I've not read any specific text, which if I'll come across, but I've listened. This is there. Nowhere Shiva said I am bigger, Vishnu is lower. Nowhere Vishnu said I am bigger, Shiva is lower. See, why there's so many forms? Why there is Shiva, Vishnu? Can I have one? See, if you want to, if you go to library, if everything is sorted out with the names, everything, it's very easy, right? It's very easy for everyone to make use of it. And you may have a cartoon also with along with this thing, this particular philosophy here, science here, that here, this here, and all. This is for our convenience. So the moment you say God, this is not only for the evolved people, it should be appealing to a common person. So we created n number of gods. Why? You may like one form, I may like one form, or I may not like form itself. I want to keep a tree because with this tree I was born here. I played around a tree. If I see even tree today, it is more than a mother to me. It happens. Cow, it gives me a milk. More than a mother, it is a mother for me. So there is a science also behind this. But one thing is, wherever something is close to me, I feel that as a mother or father to me, I started creating it as a god. Every temple we only created. Everybody knows. God is not created. God has not come here. But we created the temple. We did something called consecration. Consecration means making a stone to God. A stone is a simple stone. If you make stone as a receiver of energy, it becomes God, the consecration. So you can have any form because God is formless. I can make any form. It is to appeal. For example, I have a photo in my hand. I start crying. If I show the photo, you'll be wondering why you're crying. Some woman picture is there. She may be my mother who expired some time back. It may be normal to you. For me, it is appealing. So similarly, every culture, every family, everything has a certain kind of belief. A man cannot live without belief. So they are attached to some particular form. So they kept that form, started praying. There was no fight actually. The fight did not come because we respect. Why every religion can come to India and thrive, we have millions of gods. If we get 2 or 3 or 10 or whatever gods more, what is the problem for us? If I live with only one God, form of God, I can oppose the other form. Now I am with all, many form. And people who don't believe in God, still you can be in this culture, right? We don't throw you. This culture is you can believe monkey as God. Yes, you can believe snake as God. You can believe human as God, tree as God, or you don't need to believe anything. Still you can be here. You can read only scriptures, become a jnana yogi. You can do all kind of, the arguments and all. You are allowed to function in such a way you can argue. You can get into an argument. The kings encouraged the great temples and all these things. Debates were going on. You can start debating. This is no. Shiva is nothing. Vishnu is good. Somebody can say Vishnu is nothing. Shiva is ultimate. You are allowed to argue because argument or debate. When two people start putting their arguments, lot of knowledge flourished. This is how knowledge has been transferred. But all of us know there is something called Brahman. Because though you have different forms, our Vedas and Upanishad talks about Brahman. That means if you go beyond the form, there is a formless entity. Actually, it is formless. Can we imagine the formless entity? Every day you imagine the formless entity and pray. Not possible. Many people keep their grandfather's photo and all, right? Great grandfather's photo, and they say he's my everything, or somebody saved their life. Somebody may keep the head of the village, or king, or somebody, a normal human being, or a saint, or a rishi who was not attained, but he is in the meditative state, but that person taught him something. Guru's photo we kept. It doesn't matter whom you keep, either Shiva, Vishnu, or your guru, or anybody, how I relate myself. The moment I keep a form, if my mind becomes totally devoted to that image, I am removing my obstacle. So the image doesn't matter, but it can melt me. Whichever can melt you, you can keep this a higher entity. So it's a scientific way of evolving. So our great rishis understood everything. They created everything. See, when it was there, when we were worshipping trees or all those things, we still cut the trees, but to the extent is required. We killed, did everything. Still, the extent is required, not above or not below. For example, India in this culture is the only place something called battlefield. Why you need to have a battlefield? You can just get into another country and start, killing everyone. No, there is no enmity between your people and my people. You come with your army, I will come with my army. We will meet in a place. We will start fighting. Let's fight and decide who is number one. How such a wise method to follow, right? Because why to kill unnecessary people? Something like that. It stretched everywhere. And before fighting, you pray God. After fighting, you pray God. It gives enormous emotional stability. We have different kings. A certain king will worship certain form of God. Other king worships certain form of God. It is helping them. Because when the ego comes down with that form, it gives me a real energy. So it depends on, again, God is not favoring one person to other person. There is a lot of things on the back. But different gods means it's like choice I have. It's a buffet. When you have a big buffet, too much freedom. I can go and eat whatever I like. When you give only one food, some people may like, some people may not like. So how to get everyone into spirituality? Create numerous forms and also inform them the form is only temporary. Behind the form, there is a formless entity. That is also there. But many people won't teach. But you see, simple people, at least forget all of us. At least we are little evolved compared to others. We are reading scriptures. We are thinking about life. There are many people beyond survival. They will not think. Now tell me, those people, emotion is a big problem. How they will vent it out? Go to temple, pray your God, just discuss your problem. You feel empty. You discuss your problem with another human being, your ego will hurt. You will not open everything. But here it is there. So there is for everything. This is what I know. There are many answers to it. If you write any scriptures, you will come to know some.